Hey y'all, happy Thursday. So I want to read Colossians 2:13 through 15 from the Amplified here. And it says, "And you who were dead in your trespasses and the uncircumcision of your flesh, your sensuality, your sinful and carnal nature, God brought to life together with Christ, having freely forgiven us all our transgressions, having canceled and blotted out and wiped away the handwriting of the note, the bond with its legal decrees and demand, which was in force and stood against us. It was hostile to us. This note, with its regulations, decrees, and demands, he set aside and cleared completely out of our way by nailing it to his cross." So I want to give a little bit of background there. I was listening to a message. This has been years ago, but the understanding that it brings to these verses. So in this time period when Paul's writing, if you were put in prison, okay, then the charges or the accusations against you were written beside the cell, beside where you were being held, so that it was known what you were in prison for, right? Those accusations against you. And so this gives a little more understanding to the verses. So through Jesus, right, he canceled and blotted out and wiped away the handwriting of the note, as if it were never there in the first place. The debt, the accusations, the wrongs against society, whatever it might have been, he took the note and wiped away the handwriting with its legal decrees and demands, which was in force and stood against us. This note, with its regulations, decrees, and demands, he set aside and completely cleared out of our way by nailing it to his cross. So not only did he wipe away the handwriting of the note, but the note itself was nailed to the cross. There's not even a piece of paper, we'll say, to hold the record against you of what used to be. In that, we're going to tie in the Ephesians 4:8, where he led captivity captive, where he conquered those who had conquered us. Right? I'm going to read that one more time. When he ascended on high, he led captivity captive. He led a train of vanquished foes, and he bestowed gifts on men. Colossians 2:15 says that God disarmed the principalities and powers that were ranged against us and made a bold display and public example of them in triumphing over them in him and in it, the cross. Now, when you think about the victory parades, I want you to get this image in your head. Particularly, I mean, you can go back in the Old Testament and when David returned with Goliath's head, dragging Goliath's head, the trophy of the victory in battle, and there were parades and praises sung of David. Many times when the victors would come back in, they would be carrying, the enemy, the captives, the ones that they had captured, of the other, the losers, we'll just say. I'll get my words right in a minute. So I want you to see this image of the victors, right? Jesus leading this parade of sin, death, darkness, principalities, and powers that Satan's dominions and forces that thought they won when Jesus went in the grave. And that's why it says that he made a bold display and public example of them, leading them captive. He led a train of captive foes. Jesus was and is and will always be the victor, parading the defeat of the principalities and powers of darkness. We're going to pick up here tomorrow exactly at this spot, and I'll see you then. Bye, y'all.